This is the Tarot Tea Leaf and Oracle forecast for the month of March 2019. If you would like a personal or private reading, or one of those incredible soulmate readings, or even the exciting tea leaf readings, please contact me via the links in the description box below. That is via my website where you can book or purchase readings. Right, Libra, we're going to start with your teacup, your tea leaf reading. I made a cup of tea for you for the month of March, and we have a look at what symbols show up for you in the month. Basically what I do is, for those of you that don't know, is I look which symbols in the teacup, which little pictures really jump out, and those are the ones I'll tell you about. Now, what I see here, first and foremost, is a little arrow pointing down towards a cat, and below it is the symbol of excitement. Something causes excitement. A cat can be either someone who has misrepresented themselves, or it can be that connection with other realms. But above it is what looks like a tulip. So what's interesting here is the tulip is where the arrow points to directly. So for Librans, for many of you, or for some of you, depending who this message is destined for, there is excitement around somebody that you had a certain perception or idea of, and it turns out they are different to that. However, there's passion involved here as well. So, and there's a little wishbone above it, which says, this is a sincere wish granted. So this is a very interesting story, this. So there's someone you had an idea about, or thought something about, had a perception of, and suddenly there's a bit of excitement around them in a situation, and you discover they're not who you thought they were. However, because it's the arrow pointing to success in this particular person, perhaps you thought they're not for me, I don't like them, or they do something that I don't like. And suddenly you discover there's somebody totally different to what you thought. And this is where the passion comes into the story. So for whomever that story is, that is very interesting, and I would say exciting, definitely exciting. That's really a good one. I'm dying to know what that's about. Right, now I'm having a look as well to see what else turns up in this teacup. There's a boot. I just want to see what's with this boot. There's the letter M with that boot. Okay, so that is saying that there's some situation, and there's the number 31. There's some situation with the number 31 and the letter M, where you're going to have to put a lot more hard work and effort into getting whatever goal or idea you have with that particular situation. That's going to apply to somebody even more than one person, but the M and the 31 will apply to you. Also remember that I'm talking about March now, and it can happen any time in March. So for those of you that say, well, that doesn't resonate with me, these are upcoming situations. It may not already be happening. It may be coming up in the future. So keep an eye out for that, for whomever that is destined for. I see a bird taking off. I see a heart. I see a man. That's interesting. The bird is carrying something. Behind him is an eagle, also taking off. That's very interesting. So there's a man here. He's doing something. It looks like some kind of physical exercise, like weights. It could be water skiing. It could be mountain climbing. It's an active man. The heart means this is someone with whom you are going to have a relationship, or do have a relationship. It's news coming in. It's overcoming an obstacle. That definitely applies to somebody. So, well, it's somebody active, definitely, who you're going to have a relationship with, or do have a relationship with, and news is coming in about them, regarding them, and it is overcoming an obstacle of some sort. Maybe it's an obstacle of you trying to meet somebody, and you go to gym and there they are. Could very well be that, or somewhere where someone is active and exercising. That could even be the outdoors. That's an interesting message, that. Right, I'm looking to see what else shows up in here. Right, you will hear me going quiet as I'm turning the cup round and round and having a look. What's interesting is, you know the story I was talking about just now with the cat and the excitement in the tulip? There's the letter D next to it. Okay, so that could apply to the name of this person, or the place where this person, you meet this person, or this person that you're dealing with. That's very interesting. That could be someone specific will know when that is meant for them. Right, those are the main messages in this teacup, and they seem to be quite relationship orientated, don't they? If I look at your tea leaf card, you've got the money path. A path with money is awaiting for you to find it. So for some of you, or many of you, there's an opportunity here to earn money. And it's going to show up in the month of March, so keep an eye open for it. It could be an opportunity and that you may miss if you weren't sort of alerted to the fact to keep an eye open for it. But something opens up in March that allows you more income or more money coming towards you. Your oracle card is between worlds. Now, I think many Librans are feeling this at the moment and will feel it more than ever in the month of March. As you may well know, Uranus finally moves out of the 7th house. So all important relationships, all one-on-one important relationships and partnerships are finally out of that cursed Uranus in 7th house. I don't think it's always cursed. It's just all the planetary alignments that Libra had to endure with that sort of put real strain on relationships, really tested them, stretched them, pulled them, and you had a lot of sort of hits and misses. Those of you that were dating during this period, you know, it just didn't work out. They just disappeared. They didn't seem to be able to commit. They had terrible commitment phobia. But now things are going to change, and you're stepping sort of into a new world, out of your old way and into your new way. And that's always a slightly uncomfortable feeling, because you've got one foot in the old way of doing things and one foot in the new way of doing things. The tarot card that comes with it is the Two of Earth, and in this particular tarot deck, it speaks of finding equilibrium, finding the balance, understanding that you kind of have one foot in the past and one foot in the future at the moment. And the discomfort and the not finding your sure footing, not feeling completely sure-footed or grounded at times, just accept that for a short while you're going through this sort of transition period. I think a lot of Librans are feeling like that. I'd almost say all Librans are feeling like that. So just adjust to that feeling. It's just a transitional period. It will be over in the not too distant future. Now, your interesting reading, very intriguing reading for this month is the relationship reading. There's some big stuff going on here. I'm not all that surprised because, as I say, Uranus is now moving out of your 7th house early in the month of March, and there will be some big energetic changes with that, very big energetic changes with that. You would have felt most of this change happening already, so I'm probably going to be vocalizing or voicing what you've been feeling. The free yourself, it's time to take back control of your life, combined with goodness says. There's two stories here. For those of you that are looking for relationships, there is perhaps a kind of person you've been attracted to up to now, whom you realize is probably not in your best interests. You're perhaps even thinking of something specific, or someone in specific with specific attributes when I'm telling you this story. And you realize that this is not what you want any longer. It's not that it's good or it's bad. It's just not working for you. You have a different idea now of what you want relationship-wise. So you're going to be freeing yourself of an old relationship dynamic. Very old one, mind you. This could possibly be going back another lifetime or two even. And it's this shift that will have you in the month of March, especially in the beginning of March, thinking about what drew you to people in the past. And you realize these people may have been lacking a little bit in... the word that comes with the goodness card is integrity. I don't want to use it like that. It's like I said, it's not a good or a bad. It's just they don't have the staying power or the depth of perception, or the... I'm really looking for the words to put, to describe this feeling. But it's just as if they don't have that good old-fashioned staying power. And it's not just staying in a relationship, it's backing you. It's a 50-50 partnership kind of feeling, that perhaps that is what you really want now, but you have been drawn to people in the past that did not have that, and you're finally going to be freeing yourself of that in the month of March. Those of you that are in committed partnerships or relationships, you perhaps realize a dynamic with your partner, and it takes two to tango always, that perhaps had the two of you playing out a dynamic that wasn't true to either of you, and perhaps not true to the relationship on the whole. And you're going to be adjusting that in March. It's going to be interesting, that, because it's going to play out, the details of it are going to play out differently in each of your lives, but that's the theme of it. The next card is keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations, combined with a courage card. Now this really underscores what I've just said, or the story that came through for you, because this is saying you need to break away from sort of almost a group thinking. And that's not necessarily just your peers. It can be part of your culture. It can be the way that you were raised. It can be what you saw within your family. But you're going to be breaking away from, like I say, a relationship dynamic that was kind of holding you into something that was not in your best interest, or even in your relationship's best interest. If you're single, you may now very well be drawn to a person, or find that people come into your life that are very different to what you had before. Or, and this is most likely going to be the case for many single Librans, people will now come into your life that you would have overlooked in the past. You would have said they're too stable, they're too boring, they're too kind, they're too whatever the case may be. They had no excitement. You were looking for the chemistry before. Now you start to look at things a little differently. And you keep an open mind about people, realizing possibly chemistry can come down the line. It need not necessarily be there straight away. Or you're just drawn to someone whom in the past, like I say, you would have overlooked. This takes courage, because generally we have very set ideas about what or whom we are attracted to. And breaking away from that may be very well a case of your friends even. Your family even will say to you, well, that's not your usual type, and sort of a little bit of a frown. But you're breaking into new territory here. And if you're in an established relationship, it's a case of you perhaps get to know your partner again. You keep an open mind to suggestions they may have that are very different to what they said in the past. And it takes a bit of courage on your part to try a new relationship dynamic, a lot of courage to try it. We really rather go with what we know, even if it's not working, than something brand new. It's always a bit scary. Like I said, fascinating relationship reading this. Now your final 3 tarot cards are definitely relationship orientated too. So Libra, what we've seen is there is a money path opening for you in the month of March. So where that is concerned, you probably don't have to worry about income in the month of March. It's going to be coming to you one way or another. So your main focus seems to be on relating and relationships. And this can be a variety of relationships, but it does seem to be that one-on-one important relationship that is under the spotlight. That first card, the 9 of Sky, speaks of fears. If you have a look closely at this card, this poor cat is having the nightmare of all nightmares. They're really dreadful. A big vicious dog is trying to catch it. An evil-looking cat, 2 of them. They're snakes, they're bugs, they're owls, you name it. The poor cat. And what this is saying is that card, you have a lot of fears that are haunting you that at this moment in time have no base in reality. Perhaps you have experienced those things, and they are truly scary, whatever those fears are. But right now, they have no basis. They're not going to be occurring now. So recognize them for what they are when they do arise. Because the 2 of Sea says you are most definitely in the month of March going to have a one-on-one connection with somebody. A meeting of hearts, minds, and souls. And those fears are going to creep up because meeting someone that you have that kind of connection with, or realizing the person you're with you have that kind of connection with them, is always scary. It really makes one vulnerable, and it reminds you of all the things that happened in the past when you connected with someone like that. That final card, that Ace of Fire, says yes. It's the card that says the answer is yes. If you meet someone and all those fears come up, and they're definitely not your usual type, the answer is yes. Pursue a relationship with this person. You're about to discover something amazing. It doesn't show up in this reading, yes, as this is your soulmate you're going to be with forever. That's not showing up in this reading. It doesn't mean it's not the person that does that. It's just right now that is not where the focus is. The focus now is about meeting somebody. And it need not even necessarily be a romantic relationship, although I think for a lot of you single Librans, this is going to be the case. It can also just be a business partnership, a brand new brilliant friend, whatever the case may be, but it's that vulnerability of getting involved with someone new. If you're in a committed partnership or relationship, it's kind of like you're opening yourself up again to your partner. So it is almost like meeting someone new. It's the same kind of feeling, and it's going to bring its fears. It's that first card, that Nine of Sky sort of really says you're going to be dealing with all your old fears. But this path that you're walking down now, this new path with relating in relationships, yes, this is your new path. Grab it with both arms, let go of the fears, look at things differently, because things are now going to be different. I hope that you enjoyed that reading. If you would like any of those readings I offered at the beginning, the personal, private, soulmate, or subscription to weekly updates for your star sign, please contact me via the links in the description box below. That is via the website. I want to thank you for watching, listening, commenting, liking, subscribing, and for those of you that share this video, I truly appreciate it. Those of you that comment, I read every single comment. Thank you very much.